Oh, where's
Hey
the
guys,
trash can?
thanks a lot. This session's a 45-minute. It's going to be a fairly quick run through for everybody here and everybody on the replay to get some help with Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We're going to rotate the seats. Feel free if anyone wants to jump in, got any specific questions. Otherwise, we're just going to fly through. So, Shauna, is there any specific areas of any of those platforms that you'd like some help with?
Yes, I would. You know what? I would. I'm an artist, and I am working on developing, kind of some people to know who I am and what I'm doing on Facebook. I'm not familiar with LinkedIn, but definitely on Facebook. My artist page, like I have a bunch of friends on my regular profile, but for my artist page, I want to gain more traction and I want to have more people know what I'm doing and who I am. And follow me and listen to my music. So what should I do to achieve that?
You know what? Zainology manages Erykah Badu's stuff. I might be able to hop out. If she's willing to hop in, she might be the person for you to go to in terms of your goals, content, and targeting.
Stephen,
let me hop out. Hopefully, she'll hop in.
Stephen, because this is a Facebook one, I'm going to jump out and give my seat to Zane because I know you can give us some more Facebook stuff. So let me jump out. I'll still be here on audio and I'll be in the chat room. Zane, Zane can't do it. She can't come in anyway.
Okay, Shauna.
Okay.
Some of the things that I would say, just straight off the bat, because I've just pulled up your Facebook page, is when you're posting photos, try and post more than one at a time. And that replicates how people use Facebook pages as individuals. Like when you're posting, like when you go away somewhere, you're not going to post one photo. You'll post like 3 or 4 or, half dozen. Facebook pages post a maximum of 4. And what you'll do is you'll get an auto collage of them and it works the algorithm. So that's the first tip that I've got for you for your Facebook page. The other thing that I can see is you've got some videos up there, but I would probably recommend putting some more up there, even if it's just, like, they don't have to be long, and in fact, the shorter, the better. Even if it's just sound checks or, behind the scenes stuff. People love that on Facebook. Stephen, what have you got off the bat? Is it Shana or Shauna?
It's Shanna, and just FYI,
Shanna?
I'm about to go through a security check
Yep.
the American Airlines Center. Just so you know, but I'm totally listening. They may
Yep.
take my phone away.
Yep.
I hope not.
Right?
It's on the record for you to come back for anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would place a premium on setting up your Facebook page in the Business Manager, then using the advanced targeting to target people that are interested specifically in your space.
No.
You can then hyper-target to very specific interests. For example, somebody that might be interested in TD Jakes, for example. You've got a built-in audience. It's just a matter of reaching out to them.
Yeah.
Really, you could do that in about a week and pretty much be done.
I'm gonna give you an organic tip here. If you're gigging and you go out and you get the opportunity to have pictures with fans, do it. Have as many pictures with fans as possible. Fans will go looking for the photo. They'll come there. They'll come and find your page. Also, so here's a really big tip for you. And this is actually, I actually sat with someone who used to work with me. He's checking it out. This is Prez. When we built our club brand here, it was all built around the use of photos. So basically, this is a bit of an organic tip, is by putting photos up online. This is one of the most underrated free bits of advertising you can do on Facebook. For every time you put an image up, always use the caption section to put out information. If you've got a current song, or if you want people to connect with you on Twitter, or whatever your other thing is that you want, they're already on your Facebook page looking at this image. Now, bear in mind, when someone sees this image, they're either seeing it on your Facebook page or they're seeing it on the person who's tagged in the image. So when we take a picture in a nightclub, we might put up 200 photos, but in each photo, there's an average of 3 people. So that's 600 people, potentially, with obviously there's a crossover, 600 people's profiles that image might appear on. So that's exactly how we managed to build a brand up to reaching 3 million viral audience with no budget.
Wow.
Because they tag it, and you want in that caption, you want to put a link to your page, even though it's on your page. Connect with me here, and a link to your page. Use short links as well, because obviously it's nice and neat and tidy. And when you create those captions, create them in something like Word, so you can put all your line breaks in. So you want to have carriage returns to make it look neat and tidy. So you want so something like follow me on Facebook or Twitter as whichever is your preferred place you want them to be, and then even check out my SoundCloud or something like that. Don't go crazy with it. 1 or 2 links in there is fine, but bear in mind that it's not just the 600 people who are in the images of those like club images we did. It's all of their friends. And the average is like 300 people that everyone's got us on their friends list. So 600 times 300, you do the maths. It's a lot of people. So if you do with 10 people at every gig, 10 people times 300 people, suddenly you got in front of 3,000 people without spending any money.
That's awesome.
And people like their 5 minutes of fame, so they will share it out. I manage a photo booth page, and when we upload photos for events, the number of people that are hitting that page just, goes through the roof, and they will tag and share and things like that. So if you do what Tristan's saying, you can go back and edit the caption. You don't have to do the caption. So like I was saying, upload 3 or 4 at a time. You can go back in and edit the captions of those photos and get the stuff out there, and you'll find that they'll tag and share. And
one thing about creating the captions, obviously it's a massive pain in the ass to have to go through and you're putting 50 pictures up from every night to go through and put them all on. I mean, I use, because I'm a photographer, obviously I've got paid software like Lightroom and things like that. There are other applications. So if you actually create a caption on the image on your computer, when you upload it to Facebook, Facebook pulls through the metadata and fills it in for you. So you don't have to go through and copy and paste. They do change the algorithm of what works and what doesn't all the time. But when you're doing it and it breaks, just shout and ask me, because I tend to know what does and doesn't work. And there's other certain things that you can have. If you, whatever the title of, the title of the image in the metadata is separate and has a carriage return between that and the description of the image. So you can have a clear line break. So whatever your main thing is, like, join my Facebook page here for like the latest releases or whatever, then in the caption you might have something else. So think about doing that, because it saves you loads of time when you do it. So when we edit photos, we add the metadata at the point of editing the photos, and then when we upload them, that's it. I can just go click upload, go to bed, and then it uploads all my photos. They've all already got the captions. By the time I get up in the morning, half the people have tagged themselves. And the other thing with that is the speed of getting the images online will make a massive difference.
Can you hear me? I think my connection.
Connections just dropped.
Yep.
So I'm going to carry on anyway, because it's on a recording if she comes back. So the speed of the upload is a really massive thing. One of the reasons that our brand worked is because we got our images up. Basically, people would leave the club at 3 o'clock in the morning, and the photos would be online at like 6 o'clock. So at that point, by 6 o'clock, they've gone home drunk. They get up in the morning, photos are there. Some people will even be tagging them on their way home. So club might close at 3. We would work till 2, go into the office and put the first set of photos up. So getting a couple up so people know where to find the album, and then they come back the next day to see, hey, did my picture go up? So it's a good way to drive people through, because they see the original pictures and people start sharing those.
Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me at all?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, sorry. The minute that I walked into the arena, it just went wacky on me. Okay, so this is all fantastic, and I'm slightly mad that I don't have a pen and paper with you right now to write everything down. But
it's on the record anyway.
Yeah, I'll be coming back to watch all of this.
Cool.
Thank you, guys. I'm going to go because Garth Brooks, and that's all I can say about that.
Thank you
cool,
so
no
much. Worries.
Totally
Make
get
sure
it.
you tweet out some pictures.
Absolutely, absolutely. See you guys.
See you later. Take care. How do you add an image to a Blab feed? So, Brian, it's a really easy one. You can basically just get an image URL that's hosted somewhere online. So I'll give you an example here. If you get an image URL that's hosted online that starts HTTP and ends in .png, .jpeg or anything like that, and post it into the chat where it says type something cool, it will come up as an image. It'll automatically pull the image through for you, like the one I've just posted there. And in answer to Alfredo's question, yes, I'm sat in a car outside a nightclub. This is how dedicated I am to making sure that this show happens every week. Same question. So does anyone else want to jump in and ask any questions? If not, I'm going to get Cara to drop some bits and pieces. So yeah, thanks, Zane, for chucking that caption bit up for everybody.
Cool.
It's a really big tip, actually. Make sure that you engage. This is one thing, having worked in the nightlife industry for over a decade, people throw up a whole load of photos from a club night, whether it's straight away afterwards or whenever, like a week later in some cases. And then what happens is they'll put them up and then people will engage, they'll tag themselves, they'll comment on them, and the page does nothing. The page doesn't react. You need to engage with your audience, whatever the platform is, whether it's Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Any engagement that's happening, you need to do it. The really good example is Target doing customer service wrong. Target had a Facebook page, put a load of, they created it, got a big following, and then did nothing with it, which left it open for someone to come on and portray to be Target's customer service and cause a really big headache for Target's customer service by responding to questions, pretending to be Target. And because Target weren't doing it themselves, actually, this person managed to pass themselves off as Target customer service, giving really inappropriate answers to people. So yeah, Cara, you got some tips? Hi, Lucas.
Hi, Lucas. Some tips. Okay, so the first tip that I have for Facebook is, like I said to Shanna, is the 3 to 4 images. Now, if you can't get that many, what I recommend doing is, if you've got a product or a service, taking testimonials and turning them into images and uploading them with it, because it puts the social proof in with your product or your service and slams it out to your audience. That way they don't have to try and come to your Facebook page to try and find it. So that's one of the tips that I give out for Facebook. The other one is check your insights. Seriously, check your insights. Check when your people are on, like what day of the week, what time. You can hover over the posts part of your Facebook insights on your desktop, and it will shift the graph. The grey part of the graph is the average over the week. And when you hover over a particular day up the top, it will show the graph for that day. So you might find that it changes through the week from day to day, and target those times. Now, don't target too far off of it. Don't go half hour either side. Seriously, go 5 to 10 minutes either side, because people just don't have the time to scroll back and forward through their Facebook feeds. So they're two of the tips that I've got. Stephen, you got any tips?
Nothing bad.
Oh wow! Apparently, porn is now on Blab. Fantastic.
It
was only a matter of time, surely. So, hey James, thanks for jumping in. If anyone's got any questions, please do jump in. Otherwise, we're just going to keep firing some bits up for another 20 odd minutes, 25 minutes. With regards to the artist thing, that's obviously something that's kind of in my realms from a music industry background. So for those of you who don't know, I've actually been doing events photography for over 10 years now, across various different music genres, and it's much less relevant what the genre of music is. One thing I'm a bit gutted that she had to drop off because she got into the show was, an opportunity is everywhere you're going. There's a potential to meet fans, meet new people when you're out. This goes back to what Kerry Phipps says about, do talk to strangers, is those people that you're at gigs with, when you're uploading those pictures of another gig. So as an artist, you might look up to that person, upload those pictures to your fan page, because it means people can, if that's a place, put them on your fan page and share them back to your personal page. So when someone's connected with you, they'll see them. And that's one thing people don't do a lot, is share their stuff from one place to another. And they often think, oh, I'll share from Facebook to Twitter or Facebook to Instagram, things like that. But they don't think, oh, well, I'll do for my Facebook page, for my Facebook profile, which is the most obvious and intuitive thing to do. I mean, we did it. How many did we have? Like 23, 24 different profiles that every time we put a gallery up for a club that we worked, all of them would repost it. So therefore, by the morning, you're guaranteed to have hundreds of people have seen it. And then those hundreds of people then share it with their friends, are like, hey, did you see yourself in this? So again, out meeting people, take the photos with people and get them up.
Well, that's just it. She had the opportunity to say on her Facebook page this evening, I'm heading to Garth Brooks. Who's coming? Who's in the area and is going to be there? Maybe we could meet up, catch up, and she can develop that connection between her fans, with her fans. So, Shana, next time, when you're watching the replay, next time, try it out.
I mean, saying about that, one of those things is I would post on the actual page, your own fan page, so that your fans know that you're there in case any of your fans are there and they can connect. Other than that, I would say the other thing to do is, and this is something a lot of people don't realize you can do, if you're running a page, go to the other page, go to the event page, things like that, and then write a comment. But when you're writing it, and in the top right above while you're writing the comment, it's defaultly set to being from your personal profile. You can change it to be from your artist profile or from your page, and comment as your page or your artist profile, because that's just another clickable link that brings people back to your page to then see the other things that you're doing. Leanne, did you want to jump in the seat whilst we've not got anyone in it, and see if you can jump in and give us a couple of quick fire LinkedIn things, and see if we can maybe keep them music genre specific, if I know it's not your field, but let's have a think creatively on how we can get musicians connecting and utilizing LinkedIn to its best effect. Hey Leanne, thanks for joining us.
Hey Tris, hey Cara, g'day Steve, how are you?
Hi there.
Sorry, I had somebody talking to me at the time, and I was trying to do something else. So I've just really been nothing like trying to think off the top of my head, which I usually can wing it. As far as, so if she's wanting to, it could actually be connecting to different, different people that have different venues, or I'd have to have a fraction more think about it. Like I said,
okay, I'll jump in and give you a little bit of breathing. I'll give you some breathing space then. So something that I would do for LinkedIn is, before I ever go to anything, she's just gone to a concert. The first thing I would be doing here is saying, who's the promoter of this event that I'm going to? What's the promotions company? Can I look at the promotions company? If they've got a business page, the business pages show you these people work for this company, and you might actually be able to find someone and go, hold on, I'm 1 degree connection away from this person. Or, there might be just, someone can introduce you to someone and give you that kind of step in. And you might find you actually end up going from being someone who's going to the gig to getting introduced to someone physically at the gig, which obviously gives you a massive step up in the music industry.
Yep, she could also post an update on LinkedIn and call some of, a couple of the people out in her update. So she could even, I don't know whether Garth Brooks has got a LinkedIn profile, but she could actually, call Garth Brooks out in her LinkedIn update. She could, and from the perspective of her own profile, she could actually be creating posts and putting video into her posts from her LinkedIn, from her LinkedIn profile, and she could have video actually on her profile as well.
Yes, that's another thing that some people are massively missing with LinkedIn, that I was going to chime in on, is So one of the things that we've done is with images that we've taken, obviously you take your very best set of things, you know, if there's some shots of your gig and stuff like that, you can actually put them together into like a document or a PDF or something like that, and you can actually upload them into your profile so that when people connect with you, they then see that as part of it. And obviously, I know, like Leanne, you talk to people about rearranging their profile so that the most relevant things are there. I mean, as a musician, I would want people to go and look at what I've been doing, what's my latest gigs and things like that. So I can have a PDF there that's something available right at the top of my feed on my LinkedIn profile, that they'll see the gigs I've done. And even potentially, I'm not 100% on the PDF linking to HTML from there. Should work.
She could actually
so you should even be able to put your SoundCloud
slide shares out of them. She can create slide shares out of her photos and upload them to SlideShare.
And actually, talking about slide. Sorry, go on.
That would work well because, you know, the percentage of people that are actually uploading to SlideShare as compared to the number that are consuming SlideShare, there's a big difference between the two. So,
and another thing that's LinkedIn is having a really massive push on getting people to consume more of LinkedIn. And so I know personally, I've received emails within the last couple of weeks of, hey, these are the biggest SlideShare things that are in your network. So if you're using those things, use a range of different tools as well, because you might not catch the top SlideShare thing. You might do it, you know, it might be that your post that goes out might catch it and, you know, get picked up and featured. So giving a range of different things as well is also very important.
And I mean, you can connect, you know, you can upload all sorts of different media, not just, sorry, Brian, jump into my seat in a sec. I'll finish this sentence and then you can jump in. I just said, did Brian McFarlane, he's got LinkedIn expertise as well. So, yeah, right, you know, not just video, but you can Tristan has gone. But yeah, upload, you know, MP3s and all sorts of different media as well. I know that certainly would be useful, but and also creating posts as well as updates. So creating updates with links as well.
Yeah. Hi everybody. One thing I would suggest on LinkedIn is she could also create projects for each of her albums and have specific links to all the media kind of events that went on around that she could put into a specific. She could almost like treat a project as if it's one of her albums, and have all of the conversation and all the connections that are going on around that album in a project.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yep.
How well received are musicians on LinkedIn?
It's quite a strong business community. I don't think that. I think musicians do really well on Google Plus and not as well on LinkedIn, to be honest with you. But there are some exceptions to the rule. I'll give you an example. Matt, who is the head of WordPress, came to Montreal for WordCamp only because the International Jazz Festival was happening at the same time. So he was a serious jazz fan, and so if people had known that and dialed in on that, who are jazz musicians, that would have been a good way to piggyback and get get a lift from him by sharing their music with him before he came to the event. So being aware of the personal taste of particular business owners out there, I mean, everybody loves music, so it's like, what's not to say that a business owner wouldn't like music, or a CEO of a company? So don't underestimate it.
I mean, I've just as we've been talking, just done a quick flick into my network and just, you know, did a search on the industry, the music industry, and in my network, I've come up with 63,199 results. So first level, second level group members in that industry. That's just within my network. So there's certainly, like even within that. So you know, I've got 53 first level connections just in the music industry in my network. So without actually, you know, like drilling down into each, you know, into what they are. So I mean, there's certainly, and looking at, you know, the third level and everyone else, there's 16 million just in the music industry on LinkedIn. So, you know, there's certainly potentially people there to be able to you know, to search and connect with, and just a matter of how and what the outcome is.
Yep. I have 261,000 results for independent musicians that are on LinkedIn right now in Canada.
Yeah.
So yes, there is a home for them.
So it's then just a matter of, and if the musician, if they're not actively promoting what they do, then if she did start to, then she would probably stand out obviously more, because not many others are doing it.
Shanna, the other thing that I would suggest is on your Instagram profile, on your Instagram, is to post some more of these kinds of photos. I'm just going back through it. So when you're at the gig, you know, at gigs, not just yours, but like you're at the Garth Brooks gig, just take some photos and tag people in it, and that'll help as well, because the people that follow you are more likely to be on Instagram than LinkedIn, to be honest. So...
I'll drop out of my seat and let.
Well, I can jump out and let Jordan in. Hang on a sec.
Yeah, Jordan, jump in. Yeah, live streaming is a fantastic way, Jay, for anyone, but the numbers are quite small that are using live streaming. I mean, there's, what was the last stat I heard, 15 million downloads of Periscope. So, I mean, there's 15 million Australians using Facebook. So when you look at those numbers, but it's still a great way to get your name out instantaneously. Hey, Jordan, how you going?
Well, it's nice.
Oh, dear.
Oh, we're having a tough time here in Jordan.
I joined here a few seconds ago. This is my first time doing live video.
So, as an artist, are you on any social media platforms? Like as an artist rather than just yourself?
Difficult for me.
Oh, Jordan, it's a shame. We've lost you.
He's lost signal there, so please do try and connect in again if you want to do that. If anyone else wanted to jump in as well. So
Jay, jump in.
There's a really good point here made on the side about how live streaming is a really instant way to get like a big reach where you possibly couldn't have before. So one thing as a music artist, I would say even, in fact, someone I used to work with in the hospitality space, she's actually a musician in the evenings, plays in a lot of bars, amazing voice. She actually does a lot of stuff where she uploads, and this goes across the whole video thing. So use it and don't restrict to using just in one place. Look at the massive, anyone who's heard me talk before knows I'm a big person for repurposing stuff. Is whether it's like whatever your platform is, whether it's YouTube or you do a Periscope and you reuse it, look at trying to put it into different places, because different people will be listening in different places. The same as if your music is on SoundCloud and on iTunes, and you just want to get the stuff out there so that people can see it and sample it and have a clear call to action on it to go there. Just want to say hi to a couple of people. Hey, Kristen, Andrea and Stephen, thanks for joining us. So sorry, Jordan, if you want to try again.
Well, that's me, everyone. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep. I can hear you.
All right, good.
So how can we help you, Jordan, with your music on social media? What questions do you have?
Well, my twin and I have a music page on Instagram, and it has a lot of it serves a higher purpose. It's been really beneficial to those who tune in.
Mm-hmm.
We sing in there, and it's a lot of fun. We love doing what we do. We love doing music, and if any of you have Instagram, our username is MJ_twins58, like Michael Jackson, because we're huge fans.
Cool.
I don't know if anyone
wow.
else
I noticed all the
lost Jordan. Has anybody else lost him?
Yeah, it's hard to hear you, Jordan. Sorry, you keep cutting in and out.
I'm going to drop out. I'm going to cut in and give a bit of advice here. So, again, talking about the repurposing, have a look here about this is something that we do. If you saw from when we did a conference recently, not only have we live streamed the video from it, we've then created animated GIFs from it that have gone out through Twitter that then will appear on like our Instagram accounts and things like that. So you need to have a look at how can I use this in multiple ways. So reusing things like if you're a musician and you can put a 15-second video onto Instagram, that's a really powerful way to get people to go, I really enjoyed that. Where can I hear more? Yep. What's the call to action? Where do I go and find it? So it might be, look at the Facebook page, look at my go across my SoundCloud, iTunes, whatever. But with that, using the links in your profile. So because you can't obviously put clickable links under the image, what you can do is you can have it in your profile. So you can say, check the link. You can have a look, like follow the link in my profile to hear more of my music. So it's a direct place people can go to get that information.
Jay or Brian, do you want to jump in? Because unfortunately Jordan's sound was just, and because we've got a short period of time and we want to try and get as many people through.
Where is Christy?
I don't know where she is. I haven't seen her most of the weekend. I saw her like Friday morning your time, and I haven't seen her on Blab since. So
I saw her earlier today. I think she promoted this Blab. I thought she was going to be in here.
Yeah, I think she's just been caught up with some bits and pieces today. So, but we've got lots of other hands on deck, like Leanne and Cara in today. So,
of course you can, Brian. You can jump in. Just
if anyone else wanted to jump in and ask some questions, just to warn everybody, we have probably got about 7 or 8 minutes left before we finish a broadcast. So if anyone's got any specific questions, if you want to ask from the chat, you can just use /Q, or failing that, do feel free to jump in into the spare seat and ask some questions. Or if you've got any tips you want to share, jump in and do that as well.
All right, Tristan, something weird's happened. Jordan's come up with Brian's name.
Yeah, I know. I still can't hear anything either.
No. I know, Brian. It's funny. Hey,
Brian, do you want to try again, Brian?
Yep.
I think we might have to go down to, let's try this. If this doesn't work, we might have to go. But yeah, we're going to have to go. Stephen, can I get you to jump out for 2 secs? And we're just going to free up that seat, because we sometimes get that third seat problem. Try again, Brian.
That's funny.
Yeah, that looks like it could be Brian coming in this time. Let's see.
That looks like Brian.
That looks a little bit more like it's Brian this time. So is he on the phone? You should be able to come through with video and audio on the phone. Is he coming through?
Yeah, I've joined Blabs from my phone. I did it Friday night, so Jay's beating me to it.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. Good to see you guys again.
Thanks for joining us.
We seem to get reunited regularly on here now.
We do.
One of my first blabs was with, if not both of you, one of you. So I came in sort of late in the discussion, but I just wanted to say hello, and obviously I'm very intrigued by the artist musician world on live streaming. And again, I didn't catch most of your discussion, but what I found is, or what I witness is, whether it's street musicians or actual musicians streaming their practices, or or actually live streaming their actual performances at cafes or what have you, that again, the immediate global reach, I can't imagine, especially with where the music industry is today, with their artists, and how independent artists' numbers are only going to grow. What direction does a musician go today? Do they go the direction of an independent artist when they have these kinds of formats to get themselves out there? Or do they go to a big label who, at the end of the day, is struggling to make $1 for any CD they release?
I think Tristan's better place to answer that one.
Yeah, I mean, there's now so many potential ways for people to put out their music, whether it's the likes of just getting it out in front of people, so the hosting platforms that you can use, like your SoundClouds and things like that, or whether it's actually physically selling the music, be it through iTunes. And you can actually syndicate your own music now, so you don't actually have to rely on an agent and artist like that. Obviously, there is a fair amount of work involved with that, but I mean, there's nothing to stop you physically having. And in the music scene that I've worked in, so I'm from kind of an electronic dance music scene, is they actually hold it on their own. They put it out to iTunes and things, but they actually put it on their own sites as well. And obviously, the royalties that they get back from their own sites are they're just paying the fees back the money rather than anything else. And having the option to, there's companies now that will print to order CD.
Yeah.
I mean, for people who want CD, some people still like a tangible physical product, and unfortunately, we're now moving more towards the digital world where they say, we're not going to bother making it because like the costs and things like that. So it's an interesting one. Like, there's so many easy ways for you to go out and get yourself in front of an audience and growing your audience and bringing them in front of your music rather than the other way around. Hey,
the last time I saw you on here actually was with I believe her name was Kayla. Was that her name?
Yeah.
And actually, it was the first blab that I saw with a musician in one particular screen playing. It must have been someone acting as her manager or just a friend that was basically introducing it to her, if I understand correctly. It was very well done, and it was very clear, and you definitely got a taste for it. Of course, I went to SoundCloud and listened to her music. I mean, instantaneous, and I mean, I am first and foremost, I'm a music lover, so of all kinds. I have very diverse music. I've been around the music industry my whole life, so on a personal level and within my family and friends. So watching the music industry very closely, cutting through the mountains and the molehills as an artist is hard enough. And the whole viral marketing, combining, as you were talking about before, the different formats of digital media and social media, making them, reformatting them again, as he said before. I mean, I can't imagine that especially if you want to be found as a independent artist, that it's a great direction to go to get yourself known in a global way immediately.
And I think that's where repurposing and taking snippets of your stuff and posting it on different platforms. So, 15 seconds on Instagram and 30 seconds on Twitter and uploading natively to Facebook and all of those kinds of things will help develop the artist and get their art out further. But also what we were saying earlier and showing behind the scenes, allowing your fans to connect with you offline and giving them that connection will help And this is the same for any business. It shows authenticity. It shows the person behind it. It gets that likability to your brand, because let's face it, artists are a brand. It just helps to develop that, and that's what anyone needs to do.
All right, I'm gonna
there's
jump
some really
out
good
because
tips as well as at doing your own things as an artist, putting out your own photos and things like that is actually running and encouraging your fans to do the same, take pictures at your gigs and put them up and use a certain hashtag and things like that, so that you can go back and you can find them. Someone who does kind of getting stuff out instantly really well, if anyone's familiar with this as a brand that I've just put up in the chat, there is Ed Sheeran. At all of his gigs, he takes a big, massive photo of everyone in the crowd. And it's a really simple thing to do, but it allows you then for those people to go away and tag themselves or to share it and say, hey, this was me, I was in it. They're now doing all your advertising for you. So the easiest thing you can do there is make it easy for people to share. So, yeah, I mean, there's this whole range of things, like doing selfies from the stage and things like that is becoming now a bigger thing as well. So,
yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Jay. Thanks for jumping in.
Take care. Yeah, no problem.
I was just going to say, I'm very conscious on the time. So, Cara, if you wanted to just have any last tips just before I chime in with my last bit.
Yeah, so the only things is, like we were saying earlier, repurpose, put your fans in the frame, in the photo. They love their 5 seconds of fame. That'll help get your brand out there further, and that's it. Repurpose and fans in the frame.
So, I mean, this is a really good example. Look at this as a set of festival photos or event photos. This is actually Andy Ciso from the drum and bass scene, but this works with any kind of musician gig, and it works if it's a small gig. Photos with the fans is a great way to go. If it's a massive gig, something like this. How great is this? And actually, I've had people, when I've uploaded photos that look like this from festivals, say, "Hey, can I buy that?" And actually, a perfect example of this is that I shot an event. Believe it or not, I've actually been shooting music events while I've been back here in the UK at the moment. I went to a gig this last week, and somebody came up to me and said, "Do you remember that photo you took that I said I loved? It's still printed and it's still on my wall." And this is like 7 years later, this person has still got that image on the wall. So they say that a picture paints 1,000 words. There's your proof. And I think on that note, I think we'll wrap up. And if anybody's got any questions, if anyone wants to ask any questions between any of the sessions, please use the hashtag that's in the title, which is #in4you. So that's IN4YOU. You can tweet out to us using that. We'll pick up the questions and stuff in between sessions. So this is a weekly session. It's a 45-minute session every week at this time. So depending where you are in the world, the easy place to find it is you can always go to blab.im/ATW networking to find the link, or through our Twitter. Please do connect with myself, Cara, Leanne, Stephen and Christy, and obviously everybody who's jumped in. Connect with lots and lots of people on all the different platforms. I want to say thank you to everybody who's come through the show, everybody who's added lots of tips. We will be doing a follow-up blog post for this, so that obviously it's great to go back and watch this replay, but some people like to read it. They like to digest that differently. Like I said, different things for different people. It's a horses for courses thing, so we like to deliver it in a number of different ways, and obviously little sections of this will go up through different social medias as well. You'll already see there's screenshots of this blab already going up through Twitter with links back to here where you'll find the replay. So yeah, guys, please do that. If you've enjoyed it, just because we're wrapping up doesn't mean you can't tweet this out, because as soon as we finish the broadcast, it does allow people to come back and watch the replay. I'm going to retitle it so that people get an idea what the topic of this week's one was. But yeah, please do. I hope you've all enjoyed the show, and thanks for your time.